Welcome to the REV Your Agency podcast, the most candid and authentic life insurance and annuity podcast that is hell-bent on helping you be more honest, ethical, productive, and profitable. Tune in and you're going to get exclusive access to the industry's top tools, tips, tricks, and resources from the biggest and most effective producers on earth. You're going to hear real-life stories of agents that went from nothing to something, zero to hero, and how changing the lives of their clients has changed their own lives financially. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and share it with someone you think will find value as well. What up, dude?
What's happening?
Another day in paradise.
You're very tan today.
It's the lighting.
Does well for you.
Well, I'm just trying to look like a chupacabra.
It's all right. Yeah, it's gotta keep your vitamin D coming in up there.
Dude, I get the vitamin D. You're looking very Colorado today.
I don't have an IPA or one of those weird dad hats though.
Why though? Tyler, stop it. Stop it, dude. How you been, man?
Good, dude. How about you?
It's been a week.
Yeah. What's been going on?
Nah. We can talk about that another time. This is about you.
You want to know about me?
What kind of venereal things do you have?
You're
No, don't answer that. Tyler, stop it. That's self-incriminating. Nah, dude, real though. How are things?
Depends on the day. Much like you, I imagine. Things are good. Things are starting to ramp up now, which is nice. But right now, it just seems like it's a day-by-day case. I don't know if that's the case for you as well.
What's crazy about the entrepreneurial journey? Doesn't matter where you get or how much you make. It's always day by day, and it will drive you mad. How much do you want to continue to be an entrepreneur, knowing that the day by day never goes away?
I don't think I could live day by day getting told what to do. I guess choose your pain. Right? It's like day by day. Do I want the day by day? Hey, I may make it, I may not. I don't know.
When was the last time you were told what to do and you had to do it? Besides being at home.
I was going to say about 35 minutes ago.
Yeah. Besides that, like professionally speaking, when was the last time you were told what to do and you had to do it?
That's a good question. Probably 5 or 6 years ago, I'd say. 4 or 5 years ago.
What was the circumstance? Tell us all about it. Paint the picture.
So we had just had my son, and I was working on getting into insurance, and Brittany was postpartum. Zane was like 3 months old, and this was right in the middle of COVID. Or was it in the middle of COVID? I think maybe at the beginning of COVID. It was 3 years ago. I had started working on my insurance licenses. I was working a day job and then get my insurance licenses by night, and walked into work one day and they said, "Hey, you're going to Kansas for a month." I was like, "No, I'm not." And they're like, "Yeah, you are." I was like, "No, I got a 4-month-old at home and wife needs my help and the world is shut down right now. I'm not going." "We'll accept that as your resignation then." I was like, "Damn." So I went on that trip, obviously did the normal job duties. And the day I came home, I said, "Here's the keys to the shop. I'm out. I'm done." That was the last time. And after that, it's been no order taking since then.
Was it easier to take orders from someone else than to make the orders and take the orders from yourself, though?
Looking back now, I would say so. I think I don't know. If you have discipline, it's easier to take the orders yourself and do things yourself. But if you're just going through life willy-nilly, I don't know. What's your take on that? Would you rather be told what to do, I guess? And
I would rather fail 1,000 times at figuring out what to tell myself to do before doing it than be told what to do and just be obedient. I was never raised to be obedient. It's just not me.
Yeah. I've had many jobs where I was labeled insubordinate, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler.
Yep.
Tyler, introduce yourself. I could never introduce you as well as you could.
Oh, man. I'm Tyler. I've got a bad attitude and I sell insurance.
You're going to have to, how do you sell insurance with a bad attitude? You come from the car world, assholes and elbows under the hood of a Ford, and that's why you struggle to smile. I get it.
Yeah.
That's the world I'm from, but you're going to have to provide some context to these folks because, Tyler, this is a podcast. We could have unknown folks from Uganda listening to this.
Okay. Like you said, I started in the diesel world. So I worked on big rigs. I'm 30 years old, just turned 30 a week ago. I worked on big rigs for most of my life, and I specialized in directional boring machines, excavators, fabrication. Not a lot of engine work, but drill ripped its track drives out. I could tear it down, rebuild it. And I did a lot of hydraulic work, stuff like that. Started tearing engines apart when I was like, I don't know, 10, 12, just seeing how they work, putting them back together. It's always the way I was. Just enjoyed working on things, fixing things, building things. But a series of events pushed me into wanting to not do that for the rest of my life. And so that had me looking at the insurance industry. My dad died when I was 6 from a disease that took all of his motor functions, and he was 23. My family didn't have life insurance. My mom was 23, 2 kids. So that was like the start of the thought process of wanting to get into the life insurance side of things, was that event. But what really freaked me out was I was a foreman for this directional boring company, overseeing the shop and operations. And at the time, I didn't realize it was stress, but I started getting real dizzy. I fell on the job a couple times. I don't know if you guys can see that. I cut my elbow down to the tendon. 2 weeks later, smashed my pinky up down to the bone. And so I was just losing it. And I thought it was the disease that my dad had. It started coming for me. So I sat down one day and I said, what can I do if I don't have any motor functions left? I can't twist wrenches, right? On top of that, I hate it. So I sat down and thought about it and looked at real estate, but I'm not, obviously, being a mechanic, like you're not going to dress up in a 12-piece suit and some loafers and go show some houses.
I've never seen a 12-piece suit, by the way. Not once.
Oh, it's a thing. Maybe out here.
I've never seen it, Tyler.
And that shows you how much I know about suits. But so I started thinking hard about what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. And I needed a job that I could do with motor function or without motor functions. And I'm good at talking to people, even though mechanics are mainly grumpy. I was good at talking to people and helping people. And obviously the circumstances with my dad, my family, that pushed me into this industry.
You regret it? I know it's been a bumpy fucking ride. It's been a bumpy ride in insurance for you. And I know this. Yeah. Do you regret it?
I don't think the regret's the right word. I regret decisions I made while in it, for sure.
Like what?
Not trying hard enough or not being pushy enough with clients. That's been the biggest thing. I've had some guilt over that. I've actually just found out found this out like a week ago, or not a week ago. It happened within the last week. I found out about it, I think it was yesterday. One of the clients that we were helping get a term policy for, 28 years old, had a massive heart attack and died. Just not being pushy enough in situations, that's the things I regret. But being in this industry, no, I don't.
What are you most grateful for?
My favorite. That's a pretty generic answer.
Nah, you've got a good family, dude. I spent some time with your family. Not a lot, but a little. You've got a really good family.
Pretty fun.
Yeah. I enjoy you guys a lot.
I enjoy you guys too.
Because y'all haven't figured us out yet, but we're the kind of family that's going to make you drive through Yellowstone one way, drive back the other way, and then drive back again just to get to a wedding.
Hey, it was a good time. We saw more wildlife driving home in the middle of the night than we did in Yellowstone.
That's because it wasn't even the wildlife anymore. It was skinwalkers.
Yeah.
By that time of night, it was skinwalkers, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. I told Brittany, I was like, man, you're you're going to have to keep me awake because all I see is eyes everywhere. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, dude. So many eyes.
Yeah.
So Tyler, what's been the most challenging thing of your entire insurance career?
Ooh, at the beginning, it's different now. Obviously, we all have like different things happen. At the beginning, I had the same gripe everyone does. I didn't have the education, didn't have the tools, the know-how. I went out there and was making money, doing good things. I just didn't know how to continue doing that, right? I just kept thinking to myself, oh, this is one off, this is one off. Learned some systems and learned some of that stuff, obviously from a great group, your group. Now, the most challenging thing is staying on top of everything. And I guess that's a good problem to have, but I think that's the hardest part right now is just juggling everything I have going on and executing well to the people that I'm trying to help.
I've got 7 questions out of all that, maybe 4. What are you drinking, by the way? It looks like something's looking at.
These it's a fruity food drink. What are you sipping on?
None of your business. Adult beverages. No, Tyler. How did you find REV? So you mentioned our group is REV. It's no secret. Like, how did you find REV? Why? What even made you say, let's give it a chance? And what's been your experience there? Bar none. I'm not going to yell at you. I might, but I won't.
So the guy that brought me into insurance was actually my insurance agent. He killed it, life insurance. He was always number one. I got to work with him for a year in his office, learning from him, learning the systems, learning how he did things. He didn't teach us a lot on how to go get new business. He just taught us how to maximize the business he had, which was awesome. And so one day he added me to this insurance group. So I called him and I said, hey, dude, I just need to know how to go get new business, right? Like, I can maximize once I've got them. How do I get them? And he's here, join this insurance group on Facebook, and it's run by some cool people, and we'll see what ideas people are throwing around in the group. And at that time, I was in some networking groups, and but not in any insurance groups or anything like that. Hopped into Winning at Insurance, and I think one of your sales team hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you want to have more life sales?" I was like, "Yes, I do. I want to beat that guy." And she goes, "Okay, do you want to learn from the best in the industry?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "One of the guy that we're learning from that teaches everything he's the best." I was like, "Okay, cool." And prior to all of this, when I put my application in to get into insurance with that agent, he knew I was a mechanic, and he goes, "Hey, the top agent in our company is a mechanic. So you have big shoes to fill." I was like, "Ooh, I want to be like that guy." And never really putting one and one together. I didn't know anything. And then, so she bugged me. That sales chick bugged me. She said, "Hey, you need to get your life sales up. You got to get your life sales up. You got to get your life sales up." And I had just closed on an annuity, and I was like, "All right, screw it, I'll join." And so that's how I got into REV. And since getting into REV, it's been a whirlwind. It's part of my life more than I think I want to admit. Me and Brittany talk about it constantly. But it's been awesome meeting people across the country that are like-minded and driven. You don't get a lot of that where you can talk strategy and theory and ideas and stuff with people in your industry doing the same things as you within a networking group. It doesn't work like that, close regional networking group. So that's been amazing for me. And like I mentioned, my wife now works with you. So REV has just been ingrained in our household now. Zane asks us, "Did you watch Rush?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, he just left the call."
That's so cute, man. Forgive me while I laugh. Dude, how would your life be different? Where would you be? Just if you weren't in insurance, forget REV, where would you be right now?
Oh, I'd probably own my own business still. It would probably be in the mechanic space, fabrication. I don't know, building tube chassis. I don't know. So some along those lines, building cars. Not necessarily. I was getting to the point where had such a bad attitude towards work. Like when I had a job that I just don't think I could ever own or have another job again. I'd have to.
You wouldn't have had a fulfilling career LS swapping Miatas?
Right. No, I was going to say I'm working on the 2J right now, but even then it's nice to not have to do it for a living.
What are you doing with the 2J? Are you going to keep it stock? Are we doing valve train? Are we doing turbos? Some Chinesium?
No Chinesiums. We're going to make it full rising sun. High end. I'm going to do like a high end build. I'll do single turbo, cams, pistons, rods.
Like a Paul Walker build? Are we talking like Too Fast, Too Furious type of build?
Get Zane to school really fast in a car that's very unsuspecting is my goal. I'm not going to rice it out. I'm not going to have the Gretty stickers all over it and the angels on the sides.
Everyone's going to be like, what was that red button you pushed? And be like, that was the Slurpee button.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
I've got a 7-Eleven in the back seat.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Just a fun car. I want to teach Zane how to work on cars. I don't want him to do it for a living.
Yeah.
But I want him to be able to tinker on something. And so he calls it his car. I took a lot of time figuring out what car I wanted to buy for this exact purpose. I wasn't going to go get a G8 or anything silly. What would your favorite, if you had to pick a project car that you knew was going to be from start to finish, like build, not just buy, drive, this is an intentional build project?
85 GMC A1500. Short bed, single cab. You know the ticket. In black. Yeah. And I don't even know. There's part of me that's, hey, let's go resto mod. Do the LS swap. We'll go 6.0 on turbos, 4L80. And then there's the other part of me that's, let's keep it old school. 383 mechanical fuel pump. The whole 9 yards. We'll stay 700 R4. Maybe a turbo 350, but built. 700 R4 built, obviously, shift kits, whole 9 yards, Dana 40s, front and rear. I mean, you could go heavier, but on a 1500, come on, you don't need 60s. Like Dana 40s are fine. Yeah, dude, that was my first truck. 85 GMC. I had a C1500. Didn't have the K, but dude, I took that C50. I took that 2-wheel drive more places than most people took their 4-wheel drives. Momentum, Tyler.
79 K20. That was on an 8-inch lift. My little man syndrome. This giant truck on 40s. It was bad.
And all little manhood.
Yep.
8-inch.
Definitely.
Did you have the chrome skull on your shift knob?
I did.
You did. Yeah, you did. And a rat's nest of watch.
Jensen flip up DVD players in that. It was pretty sweet. That truck, every time I drove it, there was $100 in fuel and $80 in parts. Never failed.
Dude, mine was the same way. I didn't have the Jensen, but I did have a full Sony Explode all the way around. Walmart purchased.
Oh, yeah.
The old Sony Explodes. Yeah. Dude, I sold that truck for $1,800.
Probably $20,000 truck, right?
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. But, dude, what's the most significant thing that's happened in your life in the last 5 years? That's what I want to know, Tyler.
Making a career change and having a kid. The kid caused a career change on top of me freaking out about my health.
So tell me about that.
So, like with my dad's disease, it is hereditary. And my whole family's freaked me out my whole life about don't have kids, you may pass it on, and we get pregnant. So I decided prior to us getting pregnant, I was going to change careers. You just don't see any happy, healthy mechanics at 60 that got a good back and So there was just a lot of contributing factors to that. But when I had a kid, it was like, it lit a fire under my ass. I was like, I got to change my career now. I got to change fast. I got to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And again, that's changed the trajectory of my life. Was the fear of not being able to provide income for my family and having a family. Like at the time, it was just me and Brittany. Something happened to me. She was fine. She had life insurance and we owned a house, and then all the decision-making processes. Oh, what am I going to do? Like it was amplified. So that was the biggest change in the last 5 years, and for the better. It's completely changed my life. Getting into REV has also been a huge change for my career. You say just being able to call any of you guys that are in the group. And before it was just like, hey, I'm going to sell an IUL. Hopefully I'm selling it the right way, or I'm selling a term policy, or what the hell is an annuity? But for my career, that's been the biggest change in my career is just, Peter, I don't know how to express the gratitude I have for that guy, but if I called that dude at 10:30 at night, he'd answer. And he'd even hop on his end with me if need be. He'd walk me through it. I'm forever grateful.
Where are you headed with your career? What do you want?
Vision.
What do you want, dude?
I just want to help families grow the way I didn't have to. In whatever capacity that is, on a large scale and a small scale, that's my passion, that's my dream, that's what keeps me going. Even on the really shit days, that is why I want to stay in this industry and keep doing what I do.
What do you think your saddest day in this business was?
It was like January 20th of this year. One of my best friends decided to kill himself, and he supported his entire family. And the day that his mom died of stage 4 cancer, he lost his mojo to live. That was pretty shitty feeling that I wasn't there to deliver a death check to his family.
How has that impacted you in your career and even at home, like with your family and yourself? There's a lot to life beyond work.
I let it eat at me for a while, the guilt, and I was done when I felt like a failure. It took me about 6 months to get back into why I decided to change my careers to this industry. It's affected the home life in a way that it wouldn't be professionally, but I've changed. And as you and I have talked before, these events, you don't just get over them, they do change you. It altered me as a person. And that's personally and professionally. Now I don't think I'm as easygoing when it comes to getting things done. I don't just settle for, no, we can't do this right now, both on the company side and the client side. The client that I spoke about a little bit earlier that I just found out about yesterday, I don't feel guilty about that one because I was doing everything on my end. I was pushing. He was just not doing what he needed to do. But with my best friend, he had some stuff come up, and the company I tried writing with, they wouldn't take it. But if I would have tried harder and known I had other outlets, I could have called other agents elsewhere. It could have been completely different. But I felt guilty enough to where I was writing this family big checks because that was my way of trying to get over the guilt, but also my way of trying to help because he wasn't here anymore to pay the bills and to do the things that he was doing for his family.
What do you think you could have done different? Other than selling a life insurance policy or some shit, what could you have done different? What kind of control do you have in a situation where there is no control?
And that's just it. Everyone says, oh, I could have been a better friend, or I could have called him, and I did those things, right? And so the only thing that was in my control is I didn't put the gun in his hand. None of that was in my control. What was in my control, and the only thing I can trace back to, is trying harder in my profession to provide for his family in that circumstance. And I just didn't know. To be honest, that's what I could have controlled in the situation. And I wish I would have tried harder.
I think every good insurance agent has those moments where it's like, I wish I would have tried harder. I've got a few of them. I don't know that I've ever talked to a good agent that doesn't. But with that, dude, you wishing you would have tried harder. What are you doing now? What's the vision? You, Tyler, 12 months from now, where are you going and how are you going to get there? What's going to get you there? If it's you and the open road, what vehicle is going to get you there and what tools are going to keep that vehicle on the road?
One of the tools is obviously the once your client, always your client stuff as far as professional life goes. Once your client, always your client has been the biggest. That's been like my half-inch Milwaukee electric impact. It's just like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And speaking with Sierra the other day, we meet before our Rise call because we're new in the group and you guys just went through all the modules. We're meeting prior to the meetings and we're going through the modules together. And I told her my mission is to help more families not grow up the way I had to grow up. But my vision was to help each family individually. And she's, can't you help more people by scaling and hiring people and getting agents under you? And up until that point, yeah, it was a thought. But when she said that last week or 2 weeks ago, it shifted my goals for the next 12 months. And so the next 12 months is helping as many families get coverage as possible in whatever aspect of it's like, but also having as many people do it as possible that I can teach and train and bring. That's been a pretty clear revelation that I've had over the last 2 weeks is build a team, help more people.
What is your team going to do? I know you're doing a lot. You've got so many balls you're juggling and all the stuff. As the dust settles, what is it that your team does? What's Tyler's business?
On a granular level, it's finding insurance agents and insurance brokerages, solicitation agencies that aren't soliciting for life insurance or under soliciting for life insurance. It's just not educated on it. And we go in and we help them boost their numbers. But more than anything, we help them, all of the clients that they haven't brought the attention of life insurance coverage. We have that, maybe they have brought it to their attention and just haven't got them to see the importance of it. That's where me and my team are going to go in and help these agencies effectively round out their clients, help these clients have the best possible plan against the worst possible day.
What made you decide that was your profitable path forward though, Tyler? Because most agents are like, oh no, if it's not all me, if I don't do everything with them, I can't, like scarcity. I can't share a client with another agent. What made you decide that was your profitable path forward?
Being in the mechanic world, you can't do it all. And like when I mentioned earlier, I wasn't good at building engines. Like I can build an engine. It's just not the gravy train that I enjoy riding. I was good at fabrication, but one of my best friends is an engine guy. One of my best friends is an electrical guy. Like when I had problems, I could call these people. When my best friend, who was also a mechanic, decided to kill himself, I didn't realize that I could call other agents to help with the problems I couldn't solve. So how do I become that agent that other agents aren't doing? And I'm not saying they're doing a bad job. They just don't know that they have these problems. I didn't know I had that problem. I didn't know there's companies with different appetites outside of what I had that I could have talked to agents and we could have helped this person out. We could have helped this family out. So specializing is really what I was trying to say is I'm specializing. If an agent doesn't want to work with me because they think I'm going to steal their clients, and that to me is, I get it. They're trying to protect their business, but are they trying to help their client? Probably not. Like, do they have the client's best interest at heart? No, they're trying to protect what makes them money, which is okay. But if they took a step back and looked at it, what me and my team are doing is leaving their business where it is and just helping them on something that they haven't helped their client with effectively.
So if you, like Tyler, let's say your end all be all, your goal was to help other insurance agents not go through the heartache you had to go through to get to where you are. What advice would you give them? If this was your last chance to give somebody advice to not have to hurt like you hurt, to not have to struggle like you've struggled, and to find some success like you're starting to find, what advice would you give them?
Build a team within your company, but build a team outside of your company that you can't do it all. Again, have a team that you can call when you don't know what to do or you don't know where to go. Have a team, internal team that you can do that with, but also have an external team. Your network is your net worth, and not just money-wise, but like prosperity goals. I could have avoided a lot of pain by just knowing the right people outside of the group that I was, outside of where I was.
How would that have helped you avoid the pain? No. Let's be real. I know we're running short on time here, but how would you have avoided the pain by just knowing some other people?
I would have known outlets to go to fix that problem. Again, referring back to the mechanic world, the pain is not being able to solve a problem for someone or not being able to solve a problem for yourself, right? It inflicts damage or discomfort.
Right.
The pain could have been avoided by having someone smarter than me or more equipped than me help me, show me the way, or help the people that I needed to help. That's really it. That's where having a network of people outside of the people that you normally talk to that are in your industry or doing what you want to do. You do things very well in one area, but you have other people you can call on. And the reason you're calling on them is to avoid the pain that you may not know the answer to this situation, or your client may need something that you don't do or have the access to. Right. That's what I was trying to get at with that is I could have avoided a lot of pain just expanding my repertoire of tools, but also people knowledge that most of the situations can be avoided with help, in my opinion.
That's fair, man. So Tyler, one last question before I let you go, dude. And I hope to have you on a whole bunch of more times. You're a good friend of mine. You're a sound-minded dude. We come from similar backgrounds, but if this was your last opportunity to ever share value with anyone ever, what would you want to share with them?
Am I allowed to be vulgar or no?
Yeah.
Stop being a pussy. Start making the moves that you know you need to make. That's it.
I can't cap that, dude. I can't cap that. Let's call it an episode. What do you think?
I appreciate you more than I can express.
Dude, I appreciate you coming on. This has been another excellent episode of the REV Your Agency podcast. Remember something, nothing happens if you don't do the damn work. So take what you've got from this, take what you've learned, and go implement it today. It's not about having everything. It's about having one thing and implementing it every day so that you can take your production, your agency, and the lives of everybody around you to the next level. If you could use some help with it, hit us up at revagencysyndicate.com and jump in. We run a mastermind that is dedicated and hell-bent 10 times more than this podcast could ever be into helping you have the education, collaboration, and accountability that you need to go to the next level. Whether you are captive, independent, whether you're life only, or you focus on multiple lines, it doesn't matter. We're here to help. Let us help you.